This is Jim Emter, Van Ahn Company, Alexandria, Minnesota, with your closing grain and livestock comments for July 30th, 2021. Hard to believe, but the last trading day of July already upon us. We turn the calendar here to a new month in August, and seasonally that can bring some negative pressure to both the grains and livestock, particularly cattle, as we work ahead, so kind of be aware of that. What we saw on Friday, corn market down 11 1/4, beans down 19 1/2 to 29 3/4, Chicago wheat down 1 1/2, Minneapolis down 13 3/4, and Kansas City down 1 1/4. On the week, we saw corn basically down 1/4 cent, beans up 13 3/4, Chicago wheat up 19 3/4, Minneapolis wheat up to the tune of 28 1/4, and Kansas City up 27 1/4. So we'll have to see kind of what evolves here as we work ahead. The markets have been very dynamic, and we've really kind of set the stage here to some degree of a back and forth action where we've coiled ourselves into a potential breakout or breakdown of this market. Now, does that mean we've just got to capitulate down to, pre-2020-21 levels? No, it doesn't mean that's what needs to happen. But this range that has developed around this 480 to 520 as a low base, the higher tone of $6 continues to look to frame up this market for corn. The bean market in that 1250 to 1280 zone with upside to that 1390 to 1420 area. And as we break out of there, do not be surprised that we go test one of those two extremes, pending the direction we go. So it's more of a setup type phase, and from our vantage point, it was a marketing type phase where we're trying to take down the risk a little bit for our producers, at least for the next month and a half. Do not be surprised if down the road we come in and challenge these highs again if we take this out to the downside, but first and foremost, we need to see what the ultimate direction is here heading over the next week to 2 weeks. Feeder cattle down 32 1/2, live cattle down 95, hogs down 95. On the week, we saw feeders down 190, live cattle up 57 1/2, and the hog market down 115. 5 area average 122, north as high as 124. Dress trade 198 to 204. Box beef was up all week and firming towards the latter part. That's encouraging. Exports were very solid. We continue to see cutout values, as we said, on the rise, but with that, slaughter kind of a little under pace, as well as weights very current. So the bull stats are there, but seasonally we tend to fade here a little bit. So as we get to these key second price counts, we think it's important just to up the delta a little bit and add to some marketing from our vantage point. When you look at the feeder cattle index, 154 there. That was the only thing I missed there. Hog market, cash index 112. Pork cutout started sliding towards the latter part of this week. Exports were solid, but the thing that keeps everybody on edge going into the weekend is African swine fever reported in the Dominican Republic. That is a concern. It's getting too close to home. I think it's got the market's attention, both from the grain side as well as the hog side. Let's not forget what happens if this would ever hit stateside is all of a sudden you see kind of an immediate liquidation to get current hogs to market, which could cause a flush of protein into the market and then create some holes down the road. So let's hope it doesn't happen, but just as it gets closer to home, we just need to be semi-prepared of the risks that could create as something like that can occur here in the U.S. as well. They've said statistically it's been 40 years since we've seen that, but just kind of a word of caution with that getting that close. Other than that, folks, we've got the start of August. We got a couple weeks until the next major crop report, so the market's going to continue this tug-of-war action here as we work ahead. This has been Jim Emter, Van Ahn Company, Alexandria, Minnesota. Trading futures and options involves risk of loss and is not suitable for all producers. Past performance is not indicative of future results. This is a solicitation. Have a great afternoon.